Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Calling the shots under center will be the man that they call Swag from Ole Miss, Chad Kelly.
Yeah, the Sugar Bowl MVP in 2015 at the University of Mississippi. Well-known nephew of Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly, who came out in the same draft class as John Elway, who selected Chad Kelly for the Denver Broncos.
Let's go!
On first down, it's Kelly. Throwing right side, that's complete to Demarius Thomas. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice...
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And you know how they say it's not about the money? Sometimes it is about the money. Matt Ryan is going to average $30 million in salary per year now as one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he more than deserves it. The NFL's MVP in 2016.
go play action here on first down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked out.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Derek Wolfe in there to get him for a loss of 5. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Throw right side caught by Ridley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game, because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
Now Ryan on second down. This one caught by Ridley. And he gets it down to the 32. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. On first and 10, it's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Again, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing again, Ryan. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
On first and 10, Kelly. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, Kelly. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Tech McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Here's Kelly. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was get...
And this is caught by Allen. Touchdown, Broncos. Dwayne Allen from a yard out, and the Broncos will add on to their lead. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football. This sequence, second down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A gain of 39 that time. Now Ryan on first down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This is Freeman on first and 10. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Kelly to throw. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now a first down throw, Kelly. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. To throw is Kelly on first down. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time. Second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with fourth down now looming.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. On first down, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Ready. 25. Got it. You think you gonna get this?
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Kelly to throw. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Kelly. Incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Lucky. You know that's one that he would love to have back. That should have been picked off. Threw that one into a crowd. He's just so fortunate the defender couldn't react fast enough and get his hands up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 67 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done.
Ready, ready, blue 80. 21. 12. Ready, set.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a one-score deficit. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where it was definitely a game with some...
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, Freeman. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Ryan. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will tie us at 24. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Hamilton. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Deshaun Hamilton, 56 yards. And the Broncos have broken the tie. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, Ryan over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A huge play there for Denver. 67 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll run it here. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
All right, here we go.
Now Kelly. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton from 4 yards out. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Gun, gun, gun. Here we go.
Freeman again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And Jones has it over the middle. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th.
Hey, Tuesday. Space. Hey, express.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Get up! Everyone come forward. Pull down. Ready, blue 80. 11. Left. Space.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Hey, gun. Wait.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Green, 39.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Broncos on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
From the gun, Kelly. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And down he'll go at the 25.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
22. Fight. Gun. Face. Face south. Get on, Hunter.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
20.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. His throw incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Chase out.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. It's caught, Jones. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
21.
But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. And this one through the uprights and good. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
There's the option going left on 2nd down. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Allen's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. This first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Denver, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.